First item here, second item is the minutes of the November 10th meeting. And they're in your packet there. Looking for a motion to approve.
Move to approve as presented.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, it passed. Next item, and for some of you here, our airport manager is kind of broken tonight.
I beg your pardon.
I rest my case. I'm going to let her start out, and whenever she gives out, I'll try to carry on for her. So anything you want me to do, we'll move to item 3, which is discussion of the airport manager's report and monthly financial.
And I just want to go ahead and say, and I will each time, is that you all, please, if there's something that you guys would like to see on the agenda, during the month, be sure and contact me and I'll get it on there. Hangar 6A, as it says, we got the amendment lease agreement regarding the water line. The tenant, we came to an agreement that the tenant will not be liable for any damages should there be a leak occurring in the water line that's under the hangar. The city does carry insurance, and the tenant's not worried about it at all. He's real comfortable with everything. We found you're looking at me, Larry, so I'll tell you. We found a 12-inch water line. We confirmed there was a water line underneath the hangar. It's fairly new, if you will. It looks in good condition. But the tenant, Bob Sheehan, and city manager, Bruce Johnson, and I, and Linda, his wife, Bob Sheehan's wife, all met. And then we came to an agreement. Randall and Bruce drew up an agreement, just an amendment to the lease. And if need be, I can always show that to you. But just that if anything happens, that the city will jump in and help out with that. And he was good with that. There's just basically that he didn't want to be liable. And
What had happened, he had checked earlier on, and he didn't think that he was on the water line, as I understand it. And the city agreed at that time. After it's built and after Cox Cable came out and was citing everything, found out that yes, in fact, it's about a foot in under the front of his hangar. Is that about
probably
it?
about 4 feet in.
Is it 4 feet in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's about there.
But I doubt if it'll ever be a problem.
But we hope not. I mean, we just hope we don't do. What I was going to say is that we hope that we don't do that again. So we're doing other things to try to keep that from happening. When you have things that have been built a long time ago, a lot of the things weren't always written down, or the guidelines weren't the same as they are today. So anyway, the tenant, he's built a small retaining wall around the hangar. He's installed his tin horn in front of his hangar to route for the drainage area. And he's waiting on AT&T to relocate their line, which is in front. He hopes to have his drive in there and be, pretty much finished, and have his hangar in there by the end of this month. He may not have the hangar door on yet, but he said he's going to get his airplane in there and then finish from that point forward. I talked to him today, and he's pretty excited, and so are we.
And who is the tenant again?
That's Bob.
Sheehan.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm going to go ahead and skip the hangar 20B and 20C since it's on our next agenda item. The ice storm that we had, airport buildings, grounds, and equipment. The ice storm hit on November 27th, but fortunately the airport did not sustain any damage. We don't have a lot of trees around the area here for any of that, so I think a lot of that was with trees. The runways didn't accumulate any ice, they were just wet, so it was pretty good for us. from the airport standpoint. Item B, equipment maintenance program's going well. We're keeping up with all of our oil changes and preventive maintenance. We're checking records to see when the last time that the transmission on the 2001 Chevy was serviced. I know we have that somewhere, and that's the vehicle that we acquired from Edmond. So we're checking that. Item C, the lights on the outside of the entrance to the pilot's lounge are not working. I've requested to have it repaired. Not sure what it is. We know it's not a lamp, so we're going to take care of that. There's no outside light. Also outside my door, the airport manager's door, so I've requested to have one installed. We're checking while these guys are here, the electricians and stuff. We'll figure while they're here, then I'll have them do that, or we can have the airport electrician, just whoever's going to come in and give us a better price. The city will find the light. It'll be similar to the ones we have out here, and it'll be an LED light, so we shouldn't have a whole lot of maintenance on it. But it's dark outside my door, and I'm here late at night, and everybody's gone. I'm kind of like, so it'd just be nice for safety reasons also. And then we've replaced a flood lamp and repaired the socket on one of the other lights over at our maintenance shed. Moving on to item D, no trespassing signs will be made and placed on the portion of the perimeter fence that is 8 foot high. The signs are normally, the signs will be placed every 200 feet. Anytime you go into any type of airport, that's the normal. I've checked around, and this will allow us to, if need be, if we have any problems with violators, it'll allow us first we have to start taking steps to check the airport. We have no trespassing signs. If we don't, even though it's city property, it still makes sense to have those. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'll let you guys know what the price is. We'll do it as we can, and I'll have as soon as I get those back. But I have a guy that makes them and reasonable, does a good job. Excuse me. Moving on to item E, I'm going to skip that since it is on the agenda. Moving on to item 3, airport improvement projects, the ODOs, omnidirectional approach light system. Although the Station 2 is not working, the OAC, Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission, has signed off on the final inspection of the project, so we're good to go. I was trying to get an answer today as to when the flight check would be. They did not get back to me today, but when I went to the Aeronautics Commission meeting last week, they were telling me that it'd probably be within a couple months. So I'm pretty excited about that. The guys should be up there. We're waiting on a computer board on the Station 2. OAC didn't feel that there was a need to hold up final write-off of the project, so they went ahead and did that. Item 4, I'm going to wait because that's on the main agenda for the pilot's lounge. And wildlife management, again, we're just continuing to work with wildlife services. We do continue to see signs, but we'll try to keep those to a minimum. And then I ask that anybody who's out there flying and stuff, please report when they're out flying. If they see something, say something. We continue to be vigilant. It allows me to get a hold of wildlife services and continue to do preventive maintenance. Item 6, community involvement. Just want to remind everybody that the Guthrie Edmond Aviation Association will host the Santa Fly-In on December 19th. That's a week from this Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m. And we are going to have hot chocolate and candy canes. So if you guys want to come out, bring your kids. We invite the big kids too. Then just wanted to let you know just some of the activities this month. I attended the Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission meeting. What I did is in this agenda, I wanted to add their agenda. I think it's really important that everybody know that if they've never been to an Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission meeting, you guys ought to go at least once if you've never been. they're basically all the same. You know, what I mean by that is their agenda's pretty much laid out the same, but this gives you a really good idea of what these people are doing. Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission are big supporters of airports, and just want to let y'all know that they've done a lot for this airport, and I know y'all know that, but it's just important to continue to give them recognition. We appreciate all their help. Some of the neat things that they've done, if you will, just go ahead and take this home with you and look at it. The agenda is placed, this whole packet is placed on the city's website, the agenda and everything, so if you guys don't have a handy, you can always go there to look it up. But I thought it was neat, a lot of really good information. Anytime we're given money, we make it a point, anytime any airport does, we make it a point to go there, thank them, let them know how important it was and what a benefit it is to our airport. And of course, every month I always attend a community emergency response team meeting and training. It just helps to be up on, you know, the winter activities, anything coming up for the winter, things that we might need to be looking at as far as the airport's concerned. And then I got the opportunity to do a really neat thing. It's kind of a marketing tool that the city manager has started doing. It's called the City Manager Spotlight Interview. This one was interview with the airport manager. It was a great opportunity. I might ask Bruce to say just a couple words about it. We got to do it out here in front of the airplanes and have a really neat backdrop.
I think we have a public access channel, and on that I have a program that just lets me spotlight different parts of the city. And I asked her to be on there, and we went out there and spoke about the airport, and hopefully we overcame her nervousness. But I was trying to make it as easy as possible for anybody that I interview, my department heads, just to be able to allow themselves to talk about what they do on a daily basis and what we have available to the public. Oftentimes people just don't know what happens on a day-to-day basis within a municipality. And then also they just don't know what kind of assets they have in the community. So I wanted us to have a spotlight on what we have going on out there right now at our regional airport, and let people know that we have an incredible asset out here that hopefully they visit, and as we go forward and utilize it, and they'll understand why we're utilizing it. So, but
It was a lot of fun. I mean, I was nervous, but it was a neat marketing tool. It seems like a lot of fun. I look forward, maybe we can do in the future.
Is that filmed and is it?
it is. Then Aaron, who works for us, will go through and edit it all up, and we'll come back and shoot some secondary B-roll film and kind of splice it together with everything that we're talking about as we go through. But more than anything else, I want to make sure that everyone knew what kind of activities we had out here, then just kind of the general information about fixed plane aircraft, our FBO, the projects that we have upcoming, how we're funded, then kind of our partnership with Edmond. So kind of give a general overview of everything. Then as I go throughout the year, I'll come back around probably again sometime in 6, 8, 9 months. Then we'll kind of start delving in on some specific projects to continue to educate the public. But kind of the first round, I just want to kind of everyone know what the general attributes that we have in our community. Then we'll come back and just like we're going to be doing our project out here within this facility. Then later on, as we complete major projects over the next 2 to 3 years, allow people to know what's going on specifically, plus know how our partnership is actually working, so we don't have a lot of naysayers out there concerning, well, it's that's just a fun place for big boys and their big toys. Well, that's not exactly it. It's a tool that's used for the community for the advancement of everybody. So.
Good.
You got
Yeah.
adequate feel in the background of Gail doing some landings?
I wasn't in the neighborhood.
We'll have to put that in next time. But what we might try to do, if it's easy enough, is once it's made, I can get it maybe and show it to the board. Give you guys an opportunity.
Great.
Okay. I think that's it right there, for that part.
Okay, item number, that's it, isn't it? No, item 6 now. Or did, you skipped over some
I
of
did,
this? You wanna
I
go
skipped
back?
over 4 and 5
Okay.
and 6.
What do you want to take?
Yeah, 4, ready?
Item 4, okay. Discussion of hangar 20B and 20C.
Yeah, we've been really going through a lot of stuff on this as far as getting the air spacing going and some other things. We ran into a couple other little items that I thought were going to be large items, but it turns out that after having the property surveyed, we want to make sure that we have not just a pin survey, but a actual survey where they're doing points and looking for right-of-ways and easements and such, and where they have to go to a title company. And not always is that going to show you your right-of-ways or easements, but it's a good way to be proactive. So in doing so, we called OG&E out. Tenant wouldn't have luck, so I met with the OG&E guy. His name's Mark Harrison. Great guy. He, as you see here, they are going to be moving the power lines. Ron Jules, and I didn't bring up the little airport diagram, but anyway, down the road, Airport Road, if you look off to your right, you'll see those those doors. They're hangar doors, and you'll see them off out there just past the entrance. He has, they are 4,808 square feet hangars, 2 of them that will be built there. One of them was only 10.3 feet from, the southwest corner was 10.3 feet away from the power line. It's got to be 12.5 feet. So when I brought OG&E in, they had no hard copy of an easement, never had an easement for that. So they basically told me that because they don't have an easement, that it would fall to prescriptive rights. And then Bruce Johnson and city attorney both said no, prescriptive rights do not apply to city property. So lo and behold, OG&E will be moving those overhead power lines out. I also told them that while they're at it, because we have room for another hangar there now, that they have to move those lines. We're going to have them moved out even farther so we can use that piece of land to put another hangar there. We will have to do a little bit of dirt work, but as we get into that, I'll get, next month, I will make a note and then I'll show you guys what I'm talking about the next couple months. I don't think it'll be next month, but we'll look into doing, getting that set up. So
Is this
basically,
moved toward the road, or is it to the other side of the road, or what kind of a movement is it?
I have no idea. Yeah, we won't know until he gets back with me. OG&E, when they plan to do it, right now they're dealing with the ice storm that we just had. So as soon as he's done, they plan to move it. I asked him, 6 months? He said, oh, no. So they're planning on moving it. Ron Jewell, the tenant, would like him to move it as quick as he can because he doesn't want his guys to hit it either. So they're today they were out there staking it out, getting ready to do construction. And he already got the final locates, and so today that's what they were doing.
Okay, you've already talked about item 5. Is there anything else on that you want to discuss?
They did their,
OAC.
yeah, well, this part, yeah, they came out and did an airport inspection. This is
Okay.
the yearly, yeah. The OAC, the Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission State Airport Inspection. It's conducted, about every 3 years by the time they get around to all the airports. And basically what they're doing is they're updating our 5010 master record. Are you guys familiar with that? Basically what the 5010 master record, it just is a document, it's online, and it gives, it's not in your papers at all, because what I'm waiting for is the final report back from Aeronautics Commission. Once I have that, I will attach that document to the agenda, to the packet, and that way you guys know what I'm talking about. Basically, all it is we update our services, our runway lengths, our based aircraft, itinerary aircraft that's in and out. If there's anything, how many operations. Our operations are going up. They were 15,000, but once we get that all documented, then the aeronautics will send that information to me. It'll also be on the website. They've given me a list of 12 items that I need to find out information on. Those 12 items will be in the next agenda packet, and hopefully with the 5010 updated report.
Who, did Grayson do that
Yeah,
inspection?
Grayson Arties and then Catherine Tabor. Yes.
These 12 items, were they shortfalls?
Well, no. All these are just little things. Well, for instance, I'll tell you a couple of them. Are there hangars available for a rent? What size are the hangars? What is the monthly rental rate? What size are the hangars that are full? Ground leasing space available? What are some notable companies that utilize the airport, either based or itinerant? What type of aircraft do they use? How often do they use the airport? Those types of things, and there's a list of them. And again, I'll make sure you guys get a copy of this. I just didn't want to bring it out now because I didn't have the final report. Once I have that, and they have this information, it's basically this information allows them to justify the reason to get us money and state funds to all the airports. That's what all this is backup. So when I ask for that information from any one of our tenants, how many employees do you have? It's not because, it's a proprietary information. It's a tool that we use to try and get more, to justify the money that we're getting from the state.
Item 6.
Item 6, the Pilot's Lounge. We, myself and the 2 low bid contractors are meeting tomorrow at 11 a.m. for a pre-construction meeting. We hope to get it started within the week or 2. They have 90 days to complete the project, but I have a feeling that these guys, by the sounds of it, they've already made contact with each other. They will be working closely together. I'll be coordinating a lot of it, making sure that we don't run into any bumps or any problems anywhere. And they seem to think they'll have it done in less than 3 months. So the only thing that, couple of things that have come up is that the city will be doing the painting on there. And that, I think you all knew that from previous, but other than that, everything else taken care of. I haven't seen if they, on a couple of things for the Pilot's Lounge we're thinking about, I asked a couple pilots just what are a couple things that they really would like to see in there, and the dimmer switch was a big deal. Wasn't sure if that was on there. I meant to look today. Dimmer switch will be easy fix. They said it's great to go into a place and have dimmer switch. Another thing was that when we do get recliners, we need a couple lazy boys in there, that they lay out flat instead of halfway. He says because even if you just have 20 minutes, it's a big deal to lay out flat. So those were a couple of neat things about it. But I was just really excited that we get to start tomorrow. So I'm going to start to be even more busy than I am now.
Was there something, I was reading something here that there's a leak somewhere?
They're in the southwest corner of the building. We've had a leak there, but I've had a guy up there checking. It was large. We got it down to this, and I made a call to him today.
This is a roof leak.
Yeah, a roof
Okay.
leak, yeah. So we're narrowing it down, and the next step is, while it's pretty out, we're gonna get a hose, just run it up there, and he'll be on the inside to check. He's pretty sure he can figure it out. He's done a really good job now. And that fix, the large leak, cost us $128. So he's real reasonable. Yeah.
We should be so lucky.
Yeah, I was excited because I just, yeah, it needed to be taken care of before we started the Pilot's Lounge.
Okay. You,
That's
that's it?
for that, uh-huh.
Okay, let's go around the room then. Carrie, you got anything you want to know? Roger?
I'd like to go back to this item 11 here from the Aeronautics Commission meeting. You were at that meeting. Item 11 is about drones. Is there anything at all going on there about anything new there? You can make a comment if you know anything.
Not a whole lot. They're still just giving a couple of different commercial people the ability license, basically, if you will, to go ahead and use those. There's only, I think right now, there's one commercial, or the first person that was given a license, commercial license to fly these drones is in Tulsa. And it just so happens he will be coming to the Oklahoma, or they are going to be given a panel at the Oklahoma Airport Operators Association conference in April. So it's going to be really neat. I'll have a lot more information for you then. But it's interesting information. It's to find out what's going on it. But they didn't say a whole lot about that. Just touched on it lightly.
Well, at a personal level, I would just say that I'm a little surprised that there isn't any more activity from the FAA announcing to all the pilots about the pathways in and out of various airports, because that's where trouble happens, with or without terrorism or drones or anything else. I'm just surprised there's just
The last
no more
that I-
universal message about
The
those
last
things.
that I read on it was FAA has, I think, issued something like 1,000 permits for different people nationwide. And all of that is pretty tightly controlled. I don't think there's anything that they're letting them get anywhere near an airport.
No, and that's the big thing, is that they're making sure it's at least 5 miles within radius if you're flying any type of aircraft. And there was some concern that, a kid could go out and be flying one and not even realize that he's in the airspace. So they're trying to get a hold on that. But it was 5-mile radius, and then I think they said 1,000 feet up.
Yeah,
At
there's a lot
least.
of them that's
Yeah.
restricted to less than that. So they've been pretty tight with it. And the other thing that I read, and I don't know if FAA's done it yet or not, but they're thinking real serious about making every sale of the things
Registered.
registered.
Yes.
But, no, your big,
Better go
your
buy my
big,
drone.
your big concern with drones is these people that's out here operating them that have no idea what the rules are. But FAA is, they're kind of behind the power curve on it a little bit.
Well,
I saw
the,
something about some guy down in Bethany is open to school for instruction.
There's
You know about
another.
that?
I'm not specifically Bethany, but I did take a class on the UAS
Uh-huh.
problem. And a big issue that the FAA is having is that they're trying to get into next gen, and they're trying not to program everything for the drones for something like a system that's going to die in the next less than a decade, especially with all the GPS that's coming into play.
And they do have a class that they're offering at the O-Trip, Oklahoma Community College, Oklahoma City Community College, all about drones for anybody who's interested in taking that class, just to have a history of it and to learn about it. Because it's fine light. A lot of people are scared of them for good reason, and then for the ones who have a license to fly the radio control, they're getting confused and confusing those with drones. So it's been pretty political. Scary thing.
It can be, yeah. Sylvia, you got anything?
No, other than it's exciting, our lounge projects finally moving along, that's good.
Dick, how about you?
Just 2 items that I don't have anything fully to report on, but I talked to Brad Swain at Mustang Fuels and Aviation Department at Anschutz. And they're making some changes, and they're kind of scouting around regional airports around the Oklahoma City and Kansas City area for not necessarily base operations, but getting their people in and out. So I think along with our new hangar committee and the marketing, I think we ought to try and make a little more contact with them and see if we can turn that into
What was
something.
their last?
Well, Anschutz, I don't really have a hard
Oh, okay.
name. I've got 3 different guys, and then Brad Shilney is the guy that's at Mustang Fuels, and he takes care of theirs. So, still just beating the bushes for, something like that to bring in.
That'd be good. I'd like to see that.
Larry, you got anything?
Yes, sir.
Bruce? We are adjourned.